John, I've been listening to you debating. It's a dialectic approach you're using, isn't it? Is it? Yes, of course it is. The trouble is you're not following appropriate dialectical procedures. In dialectics, as you know, you've got several different contexts to consider. Entstehung, Zusammenhang, which is the context in which the idea develops. Verwrichtungszusammenhang, the context in which the idea is used. And also Verwendungszusammenhang, how the idea is used in policy development. But you two are discussing all of these contexts all at once, when you ought to be focusing on one at a time. You see, the Zusammenhang...
Yes, thank you, John. I think we've got it. Well, that's the problem, isn't it? We two come from completely different backgrounds. You with your research in Britain, North America, and me with my research in Africa and Asia. It takes time to get to understand what works in some cultures and not in others.
Well, at least we have research and evaluation methods to help sort that all out.
At least that's what you've been saying. Yes, and depending on your context or Zusammenhang, you can draw useful conclusions for that specific context.
And your conclusions can even be useful in other contexts if you understand them too.
That's right.
I see. You said that when you write up your research ideas, you structure them in a fixed, conventional sequence, and not necessarily in the order you first thought of them. Wouldn't it be better to show the logical sequence in which the ideas occurred to you?
It could be. Though quite often, research ideas come to you in complicated ways, and we need to sort them into logical sequences to help others to understand them.
It all depends on the context, I suppose.
Yes. You will find that research and evaluation results are only rough descriptors of real life and never reflect it completely. Like the Mayan calendar is a way of describing the world and its annual cycles, but the world won't come to an end when the calendar ends.
Hey, that's supposed to happen, isn't it?
No, it's not going to happen. John, tell him the world isn't going to end at the end of the Mayan calendar.
You see, the Mayan calendar is a purely artificial human construct superimposed onto worldly reality. It describes the patterns of natural phenomena, but it doesn't actually affect them. Now, when...
Like research and evaluation. Yes, thank you, John.
But in one of your videos, you said that good action research always affects the situation it examines.
Depending on your participatory involvement in the situations, yes.
Ah, participatory involvement. So how about some of that to make sure the world won't come to an end at the end of the Mayan calendar?